Hi guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com and another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements the week ending July 18th, 2016. This is episode number 52 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week is that Nexon America, after hosting Atlantica Online for 8 years, is handing off control of the game to a company called Velofi, probably saying that wrong, which currently publishes Luminary Rise of the Gunzu. Which, for you guys that don't know, is actually a pretty fun game. I still have to do a first look for that one. I remember playing it ages ago. Anyway, current players of Atlantica will be able to transfer their characters over to the new service once it goes live in the near future. This is a pretty surprising move, as Nexon actually owns the developer behind Atlantica Online, which is Endors. So they actually bought the developer Endors for Atlantica Online. So seeing them give up control to a third party likely means the game isn't doing so well in the West. The Korean version of the game, though, still continues to remain with Nexon, Nexon Korea at least. So it looks like only the Western version of the game isn't doing so well, but it's still good that it'll keep going. They're not shutting it down. Next up, some news on Twin Saga, finally. Aion Games started selling Founders Packs for the anime MMORPG from X Legend. The fact that they're selling Founders Packs shouldn't be a surprise. They range from $20 all the way up to $300. I've seen $200 Founder Packs before. It's pretty common, but a $300 level is usually pretty rare. More importantly, though, Aion Games announced that there will be a Founders Beta sometime in August, accessible only by those that bought the Founders Packs. No word on exactly when in August it'll be, but this clearly means the game is getting closer and closer towards a public release. If I had to guess, I'd say an open beta will probably be sometime in late September, but that's just my guess. Up next, apparently NCSoft and Tencent are working together to release a prequel for Blade & Soul called Hongmoon Rising. It will be co-developed by both companies and will be set before the events of Blade & Soul during the rise of the Hongmoon clan. It'll be available for both PC as well as mobile and feature action-oriented combat. Not too much known about the game, but VR features are also being considered. It's very clearly still in development. They're very early on in that process, so there is no release date and almost no information about the game besides the video you're seeing in the background. And given that Tencent is involved, it might not even release in the West. We don't know yet. Graphically, though, it does look quite good. If it's a mobile game and it runs like this, it definitely looks pretty gorgeous. Up next, we have a tiny bit of news for Lost Ark. Yes, a tiny bit of news. Apparently, NVIDIA's latest drivers, 368.69, includes a Lost Ark SLI profile. Now, this really doesn't mean that much, but clearly the developers behind Lost Ark at least reached out to NVIDIA and I guess gave them some specs so they can optimize the drivers for the game. So it does show that the game is making progress, but there's still no official announcements on when we can expect an actual release. But hey, at least we know it's not dead in water just yet. Next up, World of Warcraft Legion's pre-expansion patch is set to go live on July 19th. The actual Legion update, or expansion pack rather, is set to launch on August 30th, but the pre-expansion patch will include a bunch of changes to the game, including revamped PvP system and honor system, new transmog items, and a whole bunch of other changes with the full patch log available on battle.net. All of this is actually already live on the PTR server, so if you want to check them out right now instead of waiting until tomorrow, you can. Move right along, some news, some Ghost in the Shell First Assault. The game is finally getting close to the release. The game is doing a free event until July 21st, which means anyone can just download and play the game. And they're doing this in preparation for actual open beta launch. And open beta for the game is, of course, going to be free to play. It's weird to say that they're doing a free event because the game is supposed to be free to play. It was buy to play until actual open beta release. So for a very long time, it was buy to play. However, it will be free to play when open beta rolls around. But until July 21st, anyone can start playing the game right away. No word on when open beta is set to begin, but it should be starting shortly after the free event ends on July 21st. It's actually not a bad game. It's just another FPS though, but the abilities kind of make it a little bit different. So if you like FPS games, give it a try. It'll be free. Move right along, we have yet another old MMORPG relaunching on Steam to get a bigger audience. A game called Kal Online just launched on Steam this last week, and it launched originally back in 2004. So yes, it's an oldie, but it's been around for a long time, and it just got on Steam to reach a bigger audience. It reaches over 500 players on Steam as of launch, which is not bad. Plus, I'm sure people are playing on the standalone client as well. So if you're a fan of the game, check it out. If you've never played before, it's a tough game to recommend because all these old games are very hard to get into. Move right along, we have a game called Mu Origins, which is finally launching globally on July 28th. It's been out for some time in other parts of the world. It was originally set to launch on June 8th, but apparently it was delayed. The website is launching the game for realsies on July 28th. It's the mobile version of the Mu franchise, and it makes a surprising amount of money in Asia, so the game's already pretty successful. However, it has that auto-playing system, which I don't like in mobile games. But we'll see how it does in the West. It's already making a lot of money, we'll see how it does here. Up next, we have a major Shards Online update, which just went live this last week, which adds Necromancy to the game. Now, Shards Online is still far from release, but it's always good to see these updates. If you want to learn more about Shards Online, we talked a lot about it in a previous podcast, I believe episode number 59, so definitely check that out. But they also held a free weekend, which unfortunately already ended as of today, actually. Also including the latest update is a boss on the final level of the catacombs called Death. Pretty unoriginal name, but you can fight Death in the lowest level of the catacombs now. If you did miss a trial though, keep an eye out. I'm sure they'll do more free weekend trials as the game moves towards release, which the full release won't be for another couple of years anyway. Next up, Aion Echoes of Eternity officially went live this last week as well. It's the latest expansion to Aion, also called Aion 5.0, and increased the game's level cap to 75, introduces new instances, and a whole bunch more. If you never got around to playing Aion, it's probably worth checking out now because, as my buddy Gale pointed out, there's actually events going on to speed up leveling so you can get to max level a bit quicker. Moving right along, we have an update for Chronicle RuneScape Legends, the card game from Jagex. They introduced a new legend to the game called Morvan, and I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but basically it's a new class in the game if you want to look at Hearthstone terms, and they also added 37 new cards. As with other legends in the game, you can obtain him for free. If you never played Chronicle RuneScape Legends yet, I do recommend checking it out. It's vastly different from other card games, and it's quite fun. Up next, update for Asta Online from Webzen. The game is set to get an update on July 19th, which will include a brand new world boss, a new battleground map, and a hard mode for raid dungeons. Now, if you haven't played Asta Online yet, I did do a first look video for it. It is quite generic, unfortunately, and there isn't a huge player base, but some people still do play, and people swear by it, so there might be more to Asta than perhaps I've discovered on my own. Players that complete dungeons on the new hard mode can get stronger artifacts and better equipment, so that's always fun. Up next, Blizzard finally unveiled Overwatch's first new character since launch, Ana Amari, who's a support-type sniper who wields a biotic rifle that heals allies and hurts enemies. So yes, it's the third sniper in the game after Widowmaker, Hanzo, and now we have Ana Amari. And her design actually looks quite interesting. A healer sniper is definitely unique. And of course, anyone that bought the game gets a new character for free, which is the nice part about buy-to-play titles. At least some buy-to-play titles. Other games make you do microtransactions for characters too. Don't think there's a release date for her yet, but it should probably be relatively soon. Up next, Trove is moving to consoles. It'll be launching on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One later this year. Trove is following the footsteps of Neverwinter and numerous other PC MMORPGs that are moving to console. Additionally, Trine Worlds announced that the game has hit 5 million registered players since launch, which is definitely not bad. Of course, that number alone doesn't mean anything, but they do still reach over 8,000 concurrent users on Steam, which is definitely quite a bit. No word on when the game actually launches on consoles. All we know is later this year. The next and last bit of news this week is that Black Desert Online's Kenochi and Ninja class will be headed towards Black Desert Online NA/EU on July 20th. These classes have been available on the Korean version for some time, but they're finally moving over to the Western version. Also including the update is the skill add-on system that lets players customize their attacks by attaching up to 2 effects to their character skills. Kakao Games, previously known as Dom Games, announced also that Node and Siege Wars will finally be added to the game on July 17th. With any luck, it should be a smoother launch than the last attempt of launching these 2 game modes. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Later guys.